So I'd now like to take this opportunity to welcome up our speaker for today. He is an elder brother of this community. He has two lovely children. He's spoken up here before, and he's going to be speaking today on the topic of growth. I'm very excited to learn about what he's going to be sharing today, and I hope that we are ready to really receive a great message. So without further ado, let's welcome up our elder brother, Robert Torok.
Hi, thank you, Kieran. I'm not younger brother anymore. I was thinking lately that I hang around with people which are twice my age too much. Okay, thank you for having me here today. Yeah, many things have happened lately. If you watch the news, if you connected to our society. So today I'll do my best to take your attention from everything that is happening in our world and to try to focus together on something internal. So mainly I will talk today about growth. So there is growth on several levels, growth as an individual, growth at the level of family, and at the level of a community. Despite what we are experiencing in our life, we are all on a journey. And I will share a bit of my journey today with you. And then I will also challenge you to discuss a bit together with each other. And then we will conclude this message. So I'll watch the time to not go on too long. And then I want to introduce the basis of my talks or of my thoughts today. That is the exposition of the Divine Principle. It's a book that has recently made its way back into my life in two ways. One is this one, and another one is a version for children. So, I have to confess that I have studied and taught the exposition of the Divine Principle for several years extensively. So that means I have studied the book in and out, several times. I was carrying it with me, a pocket-sized version, not so big, don't worry, pocket-sized version hidden somewhere for quite a few years. And also I was engaged in educational activities, and I was the main lecturer of Divine Principle, again, for several years, one-to-one, on a daily schedule, Monday to Friday, and then also in the weekend workshops, 1 day workshop, 2 day workshops, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, So I got disconnected or I felt like I had enough of Divine Principle at some point, and we separated for a while because I realized the level of my knowledge and the level of my practice are very far apart. So in other words, I felt like I know too much of Divine Principle compared to how much I practice or how much love I embody. So, I went on a journey of studying more actually about the life of true parents, because the true parents, so we call true parents Father and Mother Moon, Mother Sang Myang Moon and Mrs. Hak Ja Han Moon. They are the authors and also the ones who revealed this truth and also who practiced it and embodied it mostly. So instead of looking at the theory, I wanted to look more at the practice and try to embody it in my life, forming a family, having children, serving the community. So after a few years of breaking parts with this book, as I said, it's made its way back into my life. I wanted to engage in studies in peace studies at UTS, which is the Unification Theological Seminary, which is based in New York. They study world religions. They study peace building, and they study a lot also about fathers and mothers' thought and also their life and works. So I wanted to engage in peace studies, but I was late, and the doors were shut. And I was left with just a few courses to choose from, and actually just one, which was Divine Principle in Depth. So initially my idea was, I put aside one day in the week for studies, but I subscribed to this course, and every day we have tasks and assignments and deadlines, which I have to complete. So in the evening after 10 or 11, when things become quiet, I go and read, watch lectures, study, and write. So I realized we are quite a diverse audience today. So please excuse me if I will use terminology or concepts that are unfamiliar to you or new. As I said, there are two versions. One is plain language for children. My daughter is studying this. She read it quite quickly. And there's another one, which is, university level, or maybe I would say even higher. And it touches upon many, many things, including science and, world religions and molecular biology and history of humankind and, whatever you want. Right, so coming back to the topic of growth, I've been studying for 3 weeks the principle of creation, and I had the tests and assignments, so I'll try to make it very short and easy to digest today. Basically, we are all on a journey, from the moment we are born until we pass away, and even then, we are still left with things to do. Because our Heavenly Parent, the Creator of heaven, earth, and humankind, has a great ideal for us as human beings and for the universe as a whole. So some of you here who are graduates from the Unification Theological Seminary can grade me today, can assess me today. How we can achieve our purpose of creation, how we can live a meaningful life, a purposeful life, can be explained in various ways. One of them is how we grow our spirits. Yeah? We have a body that we can see and touch and feel, but we also have a spirit or spirit mind, even a spirit self, which likewise has senses, spiritual senses. So in order to grow physically, we receive air and sunlight, we drink water, we eat food, and our body grows. It looks like almost by itself automatically. But how about our spirit self, our spirit mind? Does that grow automatically? Unfortunately, not. Otherwise, we would all be fully loving persons, and in perfect harmony with each other and within communities. Yeah, so that's another story. That requires a lot of love, and the source of that love is the Creator, our Heavenly Parent. So that's why many people have a daily devotion or habits or rituals in order to connect to this source of love, life, and energy. So that is something individually that we each must do, but then how we expand that love, that life, that energy with those around us, that's another stage. And the best level to practice it or to manifest it is on the family level. So between couples, husband and wife, between parents and children, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts, grandparents and grandchildren. That's why it's very fortunate to have all ages, all categories of ages in our lives with whom we can engage intimately and deeply. And after that, these families form communities and societies. So how these families interact with each other, it's another level. And I'm reminded by Kieran one Sunday, he summarized the growth or development of our Unification family or Unification movement. In the beginning, it was founded as the Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity, and everybody had my pledge. So they were reciting goals or let's say ideals that individuals wanted to unite with or achieve. Then after about 40 years, this developed into the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. So we started to recite family pledges. Today, I think we recited one quote. Yeah, so it's again, it's goals and ideals that we can achieve not just as individuals, but as families and so on. And now the Family Federation developed into the Holy Community. Yeah? So now we are talking about growing as a community. So in terms of members of the Unification movement, or even people throughout the world, conscientious people, there have been many individuals who reached a very high level of maturity or perfection. That means they are united with with our Creator. They constantly receive love and energy and inspiration, and they also have a high level of unity between their mind and body. So this inspiration and love, they also manifest, and you feel it when you meet them. In the Unification movement, there are people who've been doing for 40 years this kind of practice and devotion. So they are like saints and sages, we might call them, yeah? But it's not only that. There are also families, up to 3 generations, who have been engaging in the same lifestyle, lifestyle of sharing love, sacrificing for the sake of others, always seeking to understand and to know our Creator, our Heavenly Parent. And there are many families like this throughout the world. So to some extent, we can say there are many individuals who achieve the first level of growth, and then there are many families who achieve the second level of growth. So I feel like now we are challenged to create communities which create this harmonious union, or what we call 4-position foundation, where Heavenly Parent is the center, then 2 entities or groups unite in harmonious actions, and then they create a unity. Now, my questions for you today are: how much do you feel you have grown as an individual? How much have you grown as a family? And how much have we grown as a community? I will let you to discuss about this soon. Before that, I just want to mention a few more points. One of them is that a person cannot perform true actions apart from a relationship with God. A person cannot perform true actions apart from a relationship with God. And also, the purpose of creation with human beings at its center is to return joy to God in a harmonious relationship where both purposes are fulfilled. So it's not like a master and servant, but it's more like a family where we want our children to become even better than us. Yeah? So that's the way we look at exchanging joy with a Heavenly Parent. A parent cannot be happy if his children are not happy or fulfilled completely. So likewise, God's joy depends on our level of fulfillment and joy. That's why Heavenly Parent always tries to help us, to bless us, to allow us to grow and to attain the ideal for which we are meant to live by. But then this also implies that Heavenly Parent is always a part of our lives. So that means, I can think, if I'm alone in the room, I live by myself. But it's up to you how much you understand this level of loneliness as being possible. Then also as individuals, we create relationships with each other. But what I want to say, Heavenly Parent, we can make Heavenly Parent a part of our life, of myself, of my family, of my community, or we can try to live separately. But in order to really fulfill our greatest desires and hopes, we should constantly be aware, make space, and engage Heavenly Parent. Even when I'm alone, even when I'm with my family, even when I'm with my community. So one of the questions we should always have in our minds is, what is God's will? What is God's desire? What are God's intentions? That will be valid even if we imagine this world as being perfect, or in religious terms, restored. So even a completely mature, or we could say even a divine person or family, would always have to consider these things. What is God's will? What is God's intention? What is God's desire? And based on this, I would like you to share for a few minutes with each other. It's an intimate subject, so if you have somebody to share with intimately, you can do that, or if you want, you can sit by yourself and engage Heavenly Parent. How much have I grown? How much have I grown as a family? How much have we grown as a community? So please take the time to discuss, or just to reflect on this topic. How much have I grown as an individual? How much am I, or which level am I of growth as a family or as a community? This will be, yes, so please, this is my challenge for you today. Okay. I would, personally, I would be very happy to be engaged in such a discussion, during the week, or even in my, consider like in my workplace or in my family. So the discovery that I had during this weekend preparing to speak to you was that even if we reach, let's say, perfection, or this world, kingdom of heaven on earth, or in other terms, Chonil-guk, which means where two become one, even then, we cannot take God out of the picture. So we may take religion, we may take rituals, we may take indemnity or whatever out of the picture, but our relation with Heavenly Parent will be even more strong. In the realm of God's direct dominion, people will intensely experience God's heart within themselves. Hence, they will know His will and carry it out in their actions. Just as every part of the body spontaneously moves in response to the subtle directions of the mind, people will spontaneously carry out the will of God in accord with the deeply felt intentions of His heart. In this state of perfect resonance, the purpose of creation is realized. Yeah. So, now, we are not perfect. We are not ideal. We don't have an ideal world. But still, we become busy with our own things, with our own desires, with our own goals, with our own purposes, with our own plans, and we justify it because we need to be creative, because whatever, because this and that. But what I want to say is, even if we fulfill everything, still our lives will revolve around God, and just like a parent and child, like a husband and wife. Yeah, my wife wants to go, I don't know, to the restaurant on our wedding anniversary, let's say, which will be next month. Yeah, then I will gladly go. Yeah, I will follow her desire, because she'll be happy, I'll be happy. It's not like, I have to sacrifice, I don't know, I have to spend money or something like that. Yeah. So with Heavenly Parent, the same. Heavenly Parent's will is for the welfare and goodness of everyone, for everyone's happiness and health and joy. So it's not a matter of serving somebody's, bossly directions. No, it's actually joining gladly in this relationship through which we will experience joy and happiness, and we know everything will be fine. We don't need to be concerned about the rest, all the problems, because if we unite with Heavenly Parent, then this will sort out maybe not my problems initially, maybe somebody else in the first place, but eventually it's for the goodness, for better cause that even I myself can imagine or comprehend. So there's a catch. Yeah, because here it talks about unique or soul relationship between us and Heavenly Parent. We are in a different state now. We are in in a world that requires a lot of restoration, a lot of restitution, a lot of, I don't know how to say, making up for the wrongs and mistakes that have happened. In religious terms, we can call it a fallen world, or even hell on earth. So the way we can accomplish the purpose of creation in God's providence of salvation is through central figures who are in charge of this providence. Yeah, so the only way we can accomplish the purpose of creation, God's providence of salvation, has been prolonged for so long because the central figures in charge of the providence of restoration repeatedly made mistakes while attempting to fulfill their portions of responsibility with which even God could not interfere. So did you get the catch? What's the catch? There's someone else in this relationship between me and God. So to conclude, based on the discussion thus far, this is what the text says, based on the discussion thus far, we can understand that the kingdom of heaven resembles a person who has achieved individual perfection, taking after God's original internal nature and external form. In an individual, the mind's command is transmitted to the whole body through the central nervous system, causing the body to act with one purpose. Likewise, in the kingdom of heaven, God's direction will be conveyed to all his children through the true parents of humankind, guiding everyone to live as one. So, what I want to say is, how much have I grown as an individual? How much have I grown as a community, as a family or a community? Actually, how much am I attuned to God's will, God's intentions and desires? And actually, how much do I understand them, or do I follow them through God's representative, the central figure? So in our time and age, Unification movement members who adhere to these ideals, we can see the Father and Mother Moon as the central figure. So then the discussions should be, how much am I in tune with True Mother, who is alive on the earth? Yeah? How much do I understand the will that she's conveying, the intentions and desires of God? And, interestingly enough, even on the level of individual maturity or in individual perfection, which we often boil down to mind and body unity. True Mother, when she addressed in 2019 a group of students of martial arts, she said, if you unite with True Mother, you will achieve mind and body unity. This was, again, something new for me. Because mind and body unity was, it's a huge concept. But she said, to simplify it, yeah? So in just one sentence, if you unite with True Mother now, you can achieve mind-body unity, you can unite your family, you can unite your community, we can unite the world. And let's think in the United Kingdom. Where do we stand on this point, specifically on this point? Because look what is happening around the world. In Japan now, there's a national debate of how the people in that country, even politicians, are united or not, or in relationship or not with True Mother. Do you understand? So they are asking themselves this question: how much, who is here? They are asking, in the Congress, in the Parliament, the mass media, who is following God's, they don't say God's will, who is following the will and intentions of, of Mrs. Hak Jahan Moon and the Unification movement? So that's really hopeful. That's hopeful that they have such a national debate. In our case, in the United Kingdom, we are not there yet. Yeah? The Prime Minister doesn't mind about that. But we have other countries as well, yeah? In Asia, in Africa, and even I think in the United States, there was this topic, how much we are engaged in a relationship with Ms. Hak Jahan Moon or the Unification movement, how much do we follow the goal of uniting this world, create a peaceful resolution. What I want to say, even on the individual level, me and my wife, to create unity, we've tried, counseling, we've tried the marriage courses, We've tried all different things. But actually, the greatest solutions we found was when we united with True Mother. True Mother often, not often, but True Parents have marriage rededication ceremonies or blessing ceremonies from time to time. And we've attended them. And to be honest, the last one was in 2020, and it was after 10 years of marriage. That it was like created a really a big change in the level of unity that I have with my wife. So what I want to say is, if through personal experience and also through, if we look what's happening throughout the world, yeah, this is I think the key point, yeah, that we have to assess situations or whatever it is, war, passing of people. How much has that person or that community or that group, and how much I, my family, we as a community. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Robert, for sharing your thoughts with us about growth. There's so much for us to take away there, and let's spend a few moments now reflecting on these words.